Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of my body tracing tutorial series. In this episode we're going to cover some material that I personally get really excited about, and that's 9-square snaking, 9-square body tracing, or hybrid body tracing, whatever you want to call it. So this is going to be a direct continuation of the 5th episode where we covered different modes like hands together and split time butterfly coming across, or split time butterfly hands apart coming across, and just all those different ways of exploring the starting points and timing options for body tracing. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another dynamic to that, and it's going to be one hand is going to trace while the other hand is doing something else, like an anti-spin. Like if you were in same time butterfly and you had a vertical trace from the bottom and a anti-spin coming from the bottom in same time butterfly. Options like that. Or if you were in the same direction, you have a vertical trace and an extension coming off to the side. So we have different options that we can combine and mix and match. And I actually did a video of all of the basic options and combinations a couple months back. I'll put the link in the description, and that'll show you all the options that are available. In this episode, in this tutorial, we're not going to be able to cover them all because it's just too many. So I'm going to cover some of the basic ones, show you some of the fruits of what your labor can result in, and just how to tackle the idea of getting through it. This will be very similar to the previous episode, also in the sense that a lot of it is just understanding how it works and how you put it together so you can explore it on your own. There are certainly more options available than what I put in the video a couple months back, the one that I put the link in the description. There's definitely more options than that. Those are just the kind of the basic setups, like starting with just these points. It doesn't include diagonals, it doesn't include kind of staggered timing options, like where if you start in this kind of position and go like that. But I will do some tutorials on that kind of stuff later. Just progression, we'll get there. Okay, so like I said, the first key to getting through these is everything that I covered in the 5th tutorial, which is the one right before this. So if you have your starting positions of, say, top and bottom like this, and you have this vertical trace happening, okay? What you could do here to modify it is take the bottom pedal, or the bottom hand here, and instead of tracing up like this, you anti-spin out to the side and stop. So this would look like this. You have this moment here where you pause, or you don't pause, but you want to make sure that one hand is at the shoulder and one hand is out, and then you continue that to here. The next step is to get the other side and get comfortable with the other hand tracing and the other hand anti-spinning. So we'll start at the same position we started in with the other one, except this time the top one is going to anti-spin out. When you're comfortable with both of those, let's try to link them together. One pattern that I really like to link them together in is it does kind of the same motion as this guy, which can be done in both extensions and anti-spin versus anti-spin. But we're gonna use that. But we're gonna do 4-petal flower, do the vertical trace each time on the back side. Like we have that moment where your hand reaches back here, you're going to vertically trace it. One thing that can be helpful to think about how this works is you're taking 4-petal flowers and squishing in one of the petals to the center square. Just like this. You have your 4 petals. I can squish in my right petal so it comes here. It's just like it's coming out there, but it's coming out here, just stopping a little short, and it's coming straight up. I can also squish in the bottom pedal, so it does this. So we're using that idea, we're just snaking it around the body like this, or like this, for the extension or in-spin version of it. So that should be helpful in figuring that out. I'm going to show you the whole pattern real quick. So you have your anti-spin flower like this. Now, without reaching all the way back, I have the vertical tracer portion of it. When I'm facing the reverse side, the bottom hand traces up. When I'm facing the forward side, the top hand traces down. I'm putting it under my armpit. You can do it over the shoulder if you want to. There's no right or wrong way. That's just the way that I do it. So left hand traces down, right hand traces up. Left hand in forward, traces down. Right hand in reverse, traces up. Providing you spin in the same direction that I do. If you spin the other way, then obviously switch them around. Which hand does the trace, which hand doesn't. So that's one pattern. There's several that you can do for any of the timing and direction modes. Whether you're starting with your hands apart, like this is obviously starting hands apart, split time, same direction mode. It can be done at the same time. You can do the split time one doesn't quite look as good. They don't all look great, but if you do it at the same time, you get something like this. You can essentially take any timing and direction mode that you want to, especially all the ones that I listed in the 5th episode, and from any of those starting points and timing and direction options, you can pick one of your hands to do anti-spin while the other one does a linear trace. The next one I'm going to do is one of my favorites. It's a split time butterfly poi and split time butterfly hands, or at least it would start from split time butterfly hands. One of them is going to do a vertical trace, and it's going to come up this way. The reason why I like this one, and especially a lot of the butterfly ones, is that you have a moment of anti-spin versus static kind of hybrid stuff, where you have a hand versus head relationship. I really like it. I'm going to show you it real quick. Yes, I really like this one. Things to think about when you're doing this kind of stuff is start with your hands apart at the same time, because this is a nice easy one, especially if you're going to already do cat eyes. It'll be really useful. You come with your hands together and just get this one to meet the poi, and you have a kind of folding motion that happens like this, right? This is the kind of thing that's going to be happening during this flower. It's just going to be this way. And you can easily just kind of warm up and practice to it by doing that. And practicing it with both hands doesn't really matter. Well, it matters for the pattern, but I really strongly encourage practicing it in both ways. This can also be done in forward butterfly. I'm going to demonstrate it in reverse, and I'll demonstrate it as well in forward. The only thing that changes is whether you're tracing up or tracing down. The forward one has you tracing downwards like this. Okay, so I'm going to back up. So you're starting here. When you are going for that hand to poi head hybrid moment, you are kind of shooting for a double side stall like this, where you have your hands lined up right there. So you're shooting for that, but during that moment, your upward tracing poi is going to snake behind the shoulder, its own shoulder. So it's kind of like this, bam. Really get that moment, and then snake it up. And you should finish off right here with your hands switched around. And now my left hand is going to trace up, my right hand is going to meet up with that poi on its way down. Some of the nifty thing that makes these tracers so fun is that because you're teaching your hand independent things, and they can essentially, once you learn them all, or most of them, you can use all of these completely interchangeably and completely randomly, and you don't have to complete patterns. You can just do your regular wall plane tech, just flow around, and at any time you choose, you can just throw in a linear tracer in with your flower. So just like I was doing a moment ago, where I was demonstrating just half of the pattern, and then doing an extension versus anti-spin to get back to that same pattern. Do it just kind of continuously without doing the full pattern. I'm going to show you just a couple more. This is already going to be a pretty long tutorial. I'll show you the same time butterfly one. This one could probably be one of the easier ones to learn because, you know, for a while ago, G made, you know, this tracer like that and made it pretty popular. So a lot of people know how to do it. I'm going to show you how to throw in an anti-spin along with that. So, when you start out here in like your hip reels, I usually start with my right hand back, and I trace up like this. Okay. At this point, I would take my front poi and anti-spin it out and up, while my right hand is tracing as it usually would and ending here. So it happens like this. As you notice, I just kind of changed this so that I'm only doing one half like this. I didn't do the full flower for that second part. Another thing to play with here is when you do this trace, you don't have to trace right back down with your right hand. You can trace down with your left. But in order to maintain the anti-spin aspect, your right hand should be anti-spinning out this way. So you have this kind of motion happening. I covered a bunch of anti-spin versus trace variations. I'm going to show you a few with extensions. These extensions can be thrown in pretty much anywhere an anti-spin can. It's just a matter of which direction you choose to move your hand. For example, if for the pattern I just showed you, if I choose to move my left arm clockwise, it makes an anti-spin. If I do it counterclockwise, it's going to be an extension. So where I would usually do that, I can easily change that to do this. They're particularly better looking if you do them with your hand starting split like this. If I move my left hand clockwise and my right hand traces down, I'll have this kind of a neat pattern. Each time your extension reaches the top, it does a vertical tracer downwards. So this is a pretty good looking one, I really like it. So you have plenty of options. I strongly recommend referring back to the 5th episode and the video that I'm going to link in the description that gives you all the, basically all of the variations of what I'm teaching right now. It's kind of, well, not all of them, all the basic ones. So have fun with that, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And requests, keep requests coming. I love requests, and you know, it gives me ideas of things to do, what people are interested in, what they want to learn. So until next time, have fun.